All right, so the pods are up and going. I believe you guys are seeing the screen. Good. So to get started on the pods inside Blackboard, down here at the bottom, you should have a section called Class Project, SOC. And inside that is Open Lab. This will be how you guys access NetLab itself. Right now, we have it set up with 5 pods. That's just for today. What I need is everybody to go in and at least try to launch a pod at some point in the next 24 hours. That will get you added to the class. So you just come in here for yourself, pick one of these pods, grab just below the red line and hit submit, and that will start up a pod for you. Nothing you really have to do in the pod at this point. Just make the reservation, and then you can go ahead and end the reservation when it comes down. But just so you guys know what it looks like, this will be the topology. Zoom in a little bit here so you can see it. You guys will be coming in on this Windows 11 Enterprise image. And then from there, you are connected to the back end of this corporate network via a line into the quote office LAN, which is what you see here. Is that the right IP addressing?
Yes. 10.3. What are you talking about?
We'll check that here in a second.
That's right. Did I make it wrong?
No, I was just thinking I did a 120 yesterday. Was it a 120 yesterday or was it a 130? I guess I'll know here in a second when I open the Windows client. Anyway, you'll come in. The idea is that you would be on the office network just like this. Okay. And then you have your 3 Proxmox hosts over here. And so these 3 Proxmox hosts, you'll have 41, 42, 43. You'll typically come in on 41, so this 3.12. Not sure why we use those host names and those IP addresses, but okay.
I was running out of time and I couldn't figure out how to make a second IP it was accessible at.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it is for now.
Well, I mean, just host number.
Yeah.
Host number and IP address.
Oh, that's
we could change that. No biggie.
we didn't want to match an existing cluster, and that's just what it ended up being.
Gotcha. So pay attention to the topology here so the IP addresses make sense to what you're trying to connect out to. To get to those, you'll go out to the client. And the default password here is just CyberOps, all lowercase. We'll get that in the Blackboard section. I'll also put in this content. Right now it has nothing here. I'll put that in for a password and kind of an overview of what's going on in here. But for now, you'll have this little Windows client. And then from there, you should automatically pull a DHCP address. You should be able to go out to Google. You guys can do your research, whatever you want in here. These VMs will store everything. So if you download files and everything else, it's going to retain those and keep them. Now for the short term, while I have this open to just 5 over here in NetLab, it will not. It will trash them. The goal is once you guys log in, make a reservation, shut it down, I will have everybody's usernames, and then I will assign you your own pod. And therefore, when you guys go to make a reservation like this and come in here, it won't quite look like this, and make a reservation, you will only see your pod. Therefore, it'll only give you one option to schedule it. So let's see here. So with that, let's go back to the client. And then coming into here, you guys would have your whatever IP address it was. We should have set that as the default login. We may change that before we go live here with it. 130.
What are you looking for?
Oh, you got to have the IP addresses, and because they're all goofy and don't match. These are actually 172.
Yeah, those go out the LAN to the corporate side just because that's where the existing interfaces are.
Okay. 172.23.1.
You lock down the router, right?
Sure. I didn't realize we were bouncing back to corporate.
I didn't want it to, but I it wasn't working for me to get a second IP for the GUI to pop up on. I
Okay.
just need to play around with that a little more.
And then what did we set this as?
We were needing to make user accounts for everyone for that.
So yeah, once you guys get logged in here, we'll create user accounts based off everybody that comes in the NetLab side.
I sent you the script, didn't I?
Um,
Did I remove it?
but then yeah, you guys can come in here. Yeah, it's in Discord, I think. You guys will be able to access the Proxmox here. So we'll get some more instructions up. The ZA was just to get you guys into NetLab so that we can go ahead and assign you guys pods, and then we'll actually build some shortcuts up here at the top so you don't have to memorize all these numbers and such. But then when you guys get your software to deploy, you'll go ahead and deploy it here on the Proxmox side, and we'll give you guys more instructions on that on Tuesday. But for now, go in there, kind of poke around, get familiar with the environment. And it'll be enough for me to get people into the class. The reason I have to have you log in is it's going through Blackboard. And so you won't have individual accounts and stuff that will come in like you would normally have. So for example, if you took John's class, you guys all had logins directly into NetLab. You won't do that in this class. You'll have to come through Blackboard in order to access this system. All right. Let's see, anything else we need to let them know at this point?
That's all gonna have to wait till they get their individual pods.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to tweak the image quite a bit here.
Okay. Just some minor things.
Put write down sysinternals. We can internals, so that we can drop the IP address right here on the screen of what they have. I'll pick through that. We'll put some icons here, direct links out to those individual servers. Those are easy fixes.
Do we have to get into the lab or just make a reservation and cancel it?
Just make a reservation, log all the way into it, and then just come up here to reservation and reservation.
Gotcha.
And that will initially get me in there. So you connecting and going into NetLab is going to count as some of your participation points as well. So when Sam comes in to do grading, he'll come in, see how much time you guys spent in NetLab, that kind of thing. But obviously you guys will have all your projects and your deployments you guys will have to do there as well. Again, for those that missed it here this morning, if you come in down here at the bottom, you'll have a folder called Class Project SOC. And inside there is an open lab. That lab will link you out to NetLab. So that's how you guys will access NetLab. And in this case, you'll come in, do a new reservation for yourself, and it will ask you to select a pod. Again, in the end, you will only see one pod here, so it won't even ask you. It will just go. Yeah, for now, just pick a random one to get logged in. And then once you're logged in and in the reservation, go ahead and end it. The idea is that it will load up all of the user accounts in here. Let's make sure that's happening. Supposed to be.
Is there
Yes,
something we need to do when we get in there? You said like log in or something.
just get all the way up and then you can end the reservation. I have you in here. It's already
Okay,
in.
we're good.
So the idea is as you guys do that, this will fill up, then I will go over to the back end of NetLab and assign you individual pods once we get the images tweaked to their final state. Okay. So the rest of the quote unquote homework assignment for this week is just keep working together on Discord. You guys are working pretty well already, doing communication, polls, that kind of stuff. So work together to come up with ideas on software that you plan to deploy. And do some research or some testing over that over the weekend. By Tuesday, you guys will have access to start building that out on this side. Anybody have any questions or concerns about the project? Okay. Like I said, I myself, you guys have probably noticed at Discord at 9 o'clock at night, I'm paying attention, mostly because I'm sitting in my chair and it just goes off. So, if you got questions or something comes up whenever, just throw them in Discord. There's plenty of people watching in there to see what's going on. And we'll stay on top of getting everybody access. If you have troubles along the way, use that support side on Discord so that I see it and the two lab assistants see it so that we can fix whatever's going on the back. All right, everybody in here have access in here? Gage, Caden. Leo. What's up? You graced us with your presence, good sir. Did you log in here?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Sierra's in there. In there. Jeremy, I assume, is on his way. Okay. Yep. Once you guys get loaded in there, then I can create those accounts and get everything else stood up on this side. So for those of you on the recording, Kevin, did you get in there?
Yeah, I think I see my name right there.
Right there. Sorry. One
No,
up.
you're good.
So yeah, you guys on the recording, make sure you do this. I'm gonna put an announcement out just to have somebody go in and make those reservations in there, and then it'll be real easy for us to make the assignments on the back end. All right. Sounds like a plan.
When I was gone on Tuesday, I don't know if you did or not, but did you like set what our participation points are gonna be like specifically?
How it works? No. So the idea is I kind of introduced everybody to Sam, and the idea in the beginning here is just participating on Discord. In general, he's looking to see that you talked about a piece of software, you presented one. When it comes time to actually do it, then he's going to go through and actually watch or check your machine, make sure that something got installed. We'll be checking your NetLab reservations to make sure you're actually doing things when you're in the reservations, that kind of stuff.
So we need to go on Discord and say something.
Yeah, Discord is all where you guys should be figuring out what software as a group that you want to do, and then you'll be divvying out how to do it. I think yesterday
If
or
they-
Tuesday there was a poll and stuff out there.
Yeah, so if they already picked, are we just like,
Just there'd be more than one software package out there.
okay.
So. I can't say that it's like, oh, you need 14 posts in Discord in order to get your 100 points. That will be absolutely worthless. I've never seen a discussion board or any other thing that said that was worthwhile. In other words, if you're making meaningful contributions to it, I think the class can infer whether or not your contribution was meaningful. Does that make sense? If you guys aren't quite to capstone yet, but some of you have taken capstone. That's kind of how that works, right? Everybody in the group kind of grades everybody. It's similar concept here.
So once we get in there and we see the pod scheduler, you said that you'll see our name on there.
For now, you're just going to go and make a reservation out of this launch like this. You'll just make a reservation, grab any one of these pods as long as it's right below the red line and submit. And then once you're in here and the reservation's fully loaded, meaning you can enter lab and get into the Windows PC, then you can end the reservation and that'll add you into the class. Now, where there, I just randomly picked a pod. You won't do that in the future. You'll have a pod that says your username in there. So like mine would be blah, 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 JL Zeller. -1. And I don't think we've had anything recent on the Discord. No. So yeah, we talked about like this poll. All that is that we would end up using some single software package. So I don't think we voted on the package. It was just a poll as to whether or not we were going to use a single one or lots of different ones. And it sounded like most people wanted to use a single one, which means we'll probably deploy something like Wazaa. But if some of these other ones we're looking at like Graylog and those, for example, if you want to deploy Graylog for this environment, that's perfectly fine. Just deploy it as a service on that side. You go through all the work of doing that. When you get Wazaa up and running, you can use it as an external collector. In other words, Graylog will communicate with Wazaa. And it's that interconnection between those softwares is really what the end goal is. You guys are going to have to configure all these different ones. Not too often do you get to walk into a SOC and just pick from A to Z what you want to do. You're going to have to work with whatever the customer has. I can already feel, Siri, you want to know exactly what the points are, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I have to figure that out. I understand. I understand.
Just because I don't always know what to input on Discords, like I haven't said anything yet, but like I'm still reading it. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I just go on.
So at that point, really like
Yeah.
what most of these
Say
guys are
that.
doing, at least from what I've read in here, is they're at least going out to say ChatGPT and finding out what packages would be relevant for our SOC, right? And then we go through those and then you can determine, okay, well, Splunk was great that it came in here, but it's too big for the class or we can't get free trials or there's issues with that package. So go on and find the next package. It's this discovery phase is what I don't want to tell you to go do because then everybody does the same thing. The idea is that you go do your research however you want to do your research. Right now, it's a spitball on the software side. And I think on here, you guys have created the Wazaa one. So you guys could start talking about what you want to do with Wazaa, how you're going to build it up, however you guys want to organize it. And that may be your key contribution on the Discord is maybe you want to organize things in there. I'm okay with that.
That's a gauge thing. That, he's good at that. I need to learn though.
If you're worried about your participation points and stuff, reach out to me, reach out to Sam, and we'll address what we can do to cover those points. I don't want to fine tune it right now, like you have to do this, this, and this, because I don't know what we don't know yet. Like what works, what doesn't work. This is a very much trial thing. The only way you can realistically fail this class project is not participate in the class project in any way, shape, or form. Now, jumping in the forum at the very end of the whole thing on Discord and saying, hey, what's up? That's not going to count, right? We already made decisions. You weren't a part of those, that kind of stuff. That will start to be the problem. Does that make sense? Fair enough. Like I said, I still plan to have class periods, but they're going to be much like this where, hey, we decided we wanted to do this, or somebody in here says, I'm going to install Graylog today. Great. Let's watch them install Graylog because I can bounce on my side. We can watch through that, see what issues there are. It'll be in a recording so that if somebody wants to go do it themselves, they could go back and do that themselves. That work? And especially those of us that are going on the trip, this will be a chance to figure out what software they came up with. And maybe we want to emulate some of the stuff they had too.
Smart.
So
I'll bring back that for my con.
there you go.
contributions. Yeah.
Here's what we found in a live stock. Anybody else got any thoughts? Kevin, you got any thoughts? Oh, there was one in the chat there. Sorry. Let's see. Aaron messaged. Are we still planning on providing some milestone markers to help? Yes. That was a good plan, Aaron. So yes, let's do that now. I don't know why that one's taking so long.
I just want to make sure that like I'm understanding the steps
Yep. Nope.
to create something in the future.
I like the thought. So let's go to announcements. I don't even know what week this is. What, week 11? I think it is.
Something like that.
And if this isn't what you're looking for while I'm doing this, Aaron, tell me to stop and do it better. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Let's see, Sunday the 2nd. That pretty clear?
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that'll help too, like guide some conversations in Discord each week. Like if there's people struggling with certain milestones. So no, that's perfect. Thank you.
Just gonna leave it at help.
I thought it was.
What else did I say that we were due by Tuesday? Is there anything else? Research software, gain access, and just organize Discord at this point.
Oh, Control Z. Control Z. Oh, thank God.
I've done that too many times. Okay, please message. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for keeping me on track there. Now I should go make sure it was week 11 before I sent that, but man.
And we could call it week 14 or 15 or 16 if we wanted.
Yeah. Yes, I do believe we are in week 11. Okay, good. All right. So again, the whole point of this project is to make it, I don't want to call it fun because nobody likes homework as fun, but the idea is that you actually learn something out of it. It's going to be hands-on versus me sitting up here lecturing, you guys taking a quiz going on. The goal is that you're going to try to put that to practical use at this point. There was a question that came up in the labs. There is a capstone lab. You can do that, but it won't count for credit at this point. In other words, I don't have that assigned. So if you want to do it, you can certainly do it for practice, but it's not assigned at this point. If for some reason in 2 weeks we feel like this class project is just not going to make it, then we will switch and divert back to a bunch of NetLab labs that are relevant to system administrators or cybersecurity analysts, rather. All right. So I know it's a trial and I appreciate you guys all trying with me. Again, the whole purpose of me doing this was because vendors actually called me in the first 2 weeks of class and said, hey, are you guys training this way? Which is actually having you deploy a SOC.